Welcome to The Force Always. My name is Diz, aka David Zammit. This is going to be a unique episode once again. It's just a movie review. The movie is Kangaroo, the movie, and this will be my review. There'll be no other information in this video besides that. I do this from a Star Wars perspective, and I said a Star Wars perspective from myself, just my thoughts on a movie I saw. I'm a part of an association that got me to see a screening of this particular film, Kangaroo, the other night as advanced screening. This film is to be released, I think, September 18 in Australia. The rest of the world, I'm unsure, but let me go straight off the bat. This film gets a 6.8 out of 10. Now, at this screening, the actual director was there. And yes, Moi put his hand up to put his input, question, things like that. Anyway, let me get right into it. The actual film is actually a good, simple, heartfelt film. Not giving much away about the story. Obviously, it's about Kangaroo. Well, it's actually about technically kangaroos. But yeah, so it was a very heartfelt, nice, simple story. Had some great side actors, like supporting cast, like Ernie Dingo. He's a legend in Australia. He's just great in this film. Only a small role, but it was just great. Another supporting actor named Wayne Blair, which I've actually worked with in a project that I can't really disclose, but I've actually worked with this guy. And he is a great actor and a great director. The rest of the cast, every single one of them, the supporting cast, absolutely great, amazing. And they really held up the film. It really had a community feel to the film. The main actress, the girl, she has actually never acted in her life. Now, there's sort of little elements that you sort of pick up that some things she can work on. But I'll tell you this, amazing, absolutely amazing. What a casting choice and what a talent she is. Amazing, really, 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 really good. Her first acting piece was in this film, as the director said to us all in the Q&A. The only thing I'm going to say is there's a thing in the industry called executives and creatives. And they can clash. Executives have the means of the money and know how to make the money. Creatives do think of that, but they are, a bit more heartfelt and passionate about the project they're working on. And I said to the director, which was a very nice person, I think she did a well done job, in my opinion. I just thought the title, Kangaroo, and the look of the title, it sounded like a souvenir shop. Like for people in Australia, it's a little bit of a blatant title. That's what I thought. It may sell to overseas markets, especially America maybe, but it's still a bit blatant, especially the logo look. I suggested, if it was handwritten maybe, or, if you would have a name to the particular kangaroo, giving a bit of a character, without sounding a bit too childish, but, something like this. It's just something a bit unique, because the actual film is actually a very heartfelt film. Great story. Definitely shot in, very taking into consideration of an overseas sort of perspective, but also still grounded. I enjoyed the film, but really the market for this film is actually family, and I would say definitely, young girls will definitely like this. I'm talking, the under the age of 10, around that sort of mark, will really enjoy this film, because it is a really heartfelt film. It's a really family-friendly film. Now, Not to say that this is only for girls. This is definitely for everyone. Even adults will enjoy this. It's got more of an adult storytelling aspect to it, but kids will really relate to this. I think the release date of it really depends on if the kids are on holidays, because it would be a bit more of a success. I think if the release date is not in the Christmas time overseas, this film will struggle, I think, a little. The title sort of will draw some people in, but I don't know. But the actual story itself, I'd give it an 8.5 out of 10. It's a really good, interesting story, of the highs and lows of kangaroos. Obviously, there's a human element to this, but really, essentially, it's about kangaroos. I just think that the story is a bit lost with some executive decision here, which is fair enough if you want a movie to be made and put out there. But sometimes creatives have a bit more of an understanding of the market. And I think just this film would have been better as a more indie, more down to earth look to the title, look to the poster, and even if it's in its marketing campaign, with trailers, it does give off a different vibe to what the actual film is. Definitely see it on the big screen, as it's got some great wide epic shots. They don't really come into relevancy of the story besides of where it's filmed, but it's still a worth see at the cinema. And I highly suggest going to a cinema, more like a small cinema, like the cinema I saw it in is one of my favourite cinemas. It's the Como in South Yarra, which is Melbourne, and which is in Victoria, the state in Australia, just in case you're watching this overseas. Highly suggest to see this film, even though it's a 6.8. It's a out of 10 that I gave. I do believe it's a film. If I had kids, if you have kids, definitely see it. It's just a great film in that way, the story and way it's shot. Anyway, so that's my review for this time around. Until next time, my friends, keep rocking.